In this next topic, it seems like there is a way to get the 7,500 EV tax credit and a little bit of a loophole on a Tesla Model S or Tesla Model X. So we'll take a look at it because definitely looks pretty interesting to me, and how I read it makes sense like it would, but let me know if it reads the same way to you. So we'll take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best thing on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So what we know so far is that if you buy a Model 3 or Model Y, you can get the 7,500 federal tax credit on both of them. But if you take a look and see more details on the tax credit and go to the actual page from Tesla, there is a paragraph here that talks about commercial vehicles. And of course, this is commercial if you own a business or your own LLC and purchasing the vehicle. This is where it starts to get very interesting. So if you take a look at this paragraph and see what it actually reads, Commercial Vehicles Inflation Reduction Act, quote, as part of the 2023 Inflation Reduction Act, eligible businesses and tax-exempt organizations can claim up to a 7,500 credit when purchasing new vehicles with a gross weight rating of up to 14,000 pounds. Quote, all Tesla passenger vehicles qualify for this incentive. Model S, Model 3, Model X, and Model Y. So a little bit of a caveat here. I am not a CPA. I am not an accountant. So we're taking this as a grain of salt, but I have taken advantage of the 7,500 federal tax credit a couple of times. And this, of course, only refers to commercial business purchases. So you must have an eligible business or a tax exempt organization. But I'm wondering here, does this also apply to like LLCs? Because that's an eligible business. And if you're purchasing the vehicle for your own business, then it could make sense. Or even what about Uber drivers or people that use their vehicle as a ride share or anything like that? Could you actually get this 7,500? Because traditionally right now, the Model S and Model X do not qualify for the 7,500 federal tax credit for a personal purchase. But I'm wondering, does a commercial purchase change this? Does it actually make it eligible for the 7,500 tax credit? Because that's kind of how I read it right now. And of course, one of you can probably help us out if you're an actual CPA. Maybe this is a huge commercial tax credit loophole, but as I read it right now, as I read this, it looks like if you have a business or own a business, you might be able to take advantage of getting the 7,500 federal tax credit on a Model S or Model X. And so joining to the IRS website, there's a little bit more details, but at the end of the day, it says how to claim a credit. It says we're finalizing a form for you to claim the credit. Please check back for updates. So it seems like I'm interpreting the same way as well. I mean, if you're buying it for business, it must be for business, not for resale, must be primarily used in the United States, and not have been allowed for any other credit under sections 30D or 45W. And so this is probably how a lot of these other OEMs, well, we know this is how these other OEMs, I'm talking Volkswagen, Polestar, and all these other companies that are passing down the 7,500 tax credit on a lease. And so because they are a business entity purchasing the vehicle and then leasing the vehicle to an individual. So if you kind of circumvented that and was your own business purchasing a Model S or Model X, then you also might be able to get this 7,500 federal tax credit. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you think this will actually work? Because that would be pretty massive at the end of the day if you're able to get a pretty big price cut or tax credit on purchasing a Model S or Model X. But jumping to the Model S side, I guess we will be able to prove our theory here just a little bit if we went to the Model S lease and seeing if there's any sort of indication if you were, because technically the Model S lease is Tesla being the leasing company and leasing it to you, to see if maybe they've itemized this somewhere in here. But of course they won't do that because they don't do that on the Model 3 or Model Y. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Please, someone someone come into the chat or live stream chat or comments and prove me wrong or even prove it right. So we're gonna jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best links for financing your Tesla. And on top of that, if you're interested in buying a Model S or Model X, you save another $1,000 off by using a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description. Because if you use a Tesla referral code, you can get 3 months of full self-driving plus $1,000 off if you buy a Model S or Model X. So definitely check it out. Tesla referral code down below in the description. All right, if you're just joining in, welcome.